All right, so today we're diving into something a little different. This isn't your typical article or research paper. No, this source is a cinematic, almost mythic origin story. It paints this incredible picture of a birth so important that the entire cosmos literally paused to celebrate. So let's jump in and see how the story unfolds. So let's kick things off with a big question. How do you tell the story of a beginning? Whether it's a person, a company, a movement, where do you even start? Well, typically, you'd start with the basics, right? A date, a city, some tangible point on a map. That's kind of the standard playbook for how we frame our stories. But the story we're looking at today, it starts somewhere else entirely. Yeah, it begins before time itself. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That one line completely changes the game. We're not just talking about a biography here. We're talking about a cosmic event, a story that claims its roots are in the very fabric of existence. Okay, so our journey begins right where the source material does, with a cosmic prelude. We're rewinding the clock all the way back to a point before the universe even took its first breath. So picture this. Before anything existed, there was just this, an infinite, patient, completely still ocean of darkness. The source describes it as a silence that just stretched beyond all imagination. And then, in all that silence, a spark. Not some big, loud explosion, but more like a whisper from the very heart of creation. The source actually calls this the first pulse of destiny. And from that one tiny spark, bam, everything we know bursts into existence. Stars are born, galaxies start swirling into these rivers of fire. The source puts it so beautifully. The universe itself learned how to breathe. This is the epic stage for our story. So we've got the whole universe. Now, the camera, so to speak, starts to zoom in, right into our own cosmic backyard. And what's really cool here is how the story frames the planets. They're not just floating there. They're knowing participants in a celestial harmony. I mean, look at this. The planets are almost given personalities. You've got Saturn just watching, totally still. Jupiter is flaring up, described like a king's torch. And the moon, it's a witness of grace. It really feels like they're all getting into position for something huge that's about to happen. And get this. This whole alignment, it wasn't just random chance. According to the source, it was a deliberate, fated moment. It's sealed with what's called the Creator's gentle nod, like the universe itself gave the green light for a new story to start down on Earth. All right, so that cosmic funnel we talked about, it's getting much, much narrower now. The story is literally coming down from the heavens, finding its way home to our planet. The journey is framed as this descent of light. It travels through the corridors of time across entire galaxies until it zeroes in on one single spot on our little blue planet, a place called Mayurpanj in Odisha, India. And as it gets closer, the story says the very air itself starts to tremble with anticipation. Yeah, and this is no quiet landing. Nature itself is waking up and taking notice. The source says trees are whispering, the soil is glowing. The whole earthly environment seems to be aware, getting ready to welcome this new soul. And this is it. This is where it all comes together. The cosmic and the earthly finally meet. The story uses this incredible metaphor of a storm to describe the moment of birth, a moment where all of creation syncs up to a single heartbeat. After all this timeless, mythic storytelling, we finally get a date, a real, solid point on the calendar to anchor everything. October 31st, the day the golden curtain of the sky is drawn. And the way the source describes this sequence, it's just incredible. This isn't just some bad weather, it's a cosmic symphony. First, the skies roar. Then, lightning is literally dancing. And right at the center of it all, a mother's heartbeat becomes the metronome for the entire universe. You can just feel the tension building and building until that final, crucial moment, the first cry. But listen, this wasn't just any baby's cry. According to the story, this sound had power. It resonated. It traveled past the walls, past the clouds, and echoed all the way out into space. A sound so profound that it caused the entire Earth to just pause and made heaven smile. So what comes after a cry that shakes the cosmos? A name. And that's our final section here, the power of this name, which is described as the very sound of destiny's first breath. So after all that cosmic thunder, we get this really quiet, intimate moment. The mother whispers a name. But here's the thing, it's not a name she just came up with. The source tells us it was a name that was already written in the stars, connecting her very personal human act right back to that huge cosmic plan we've been following.
And that name is Julu. It's defined not by its earthly meaning, but by its cosmic one. It's the name the stars knew, the name the universe was waiting to hear, the one the cosmos itself celebrated.
The source then gives us the full name, Sambunath Mohanta. And this is where you see the two identities merge, right? You have Julu, the cosmic name, and Sambunath Mohanta, the earthly name, both one and the same person. And just like how nature knew he was coming, now it celebrates his name. The winds are carrying it through the forests, the rivers are humming it, the mountains echo it. The name literally becomes a part of the natural world, reinforcing that deep connection to the earth. And really, it all comes down to this single idea. Born of earth, so grounded, human, part of our world, but also blessed by the cosmos, connected to something so much bigger, something timeless, something divine. So this source material presents one person's story in this incredibly epic, cosmic way. But it kind of leaves us with a really fascinating thought to ponder, doesn't it? What if every origin story, what if your own story, is in some way written in the stars? What if we're all connected to something way bigger than we even realize?